All right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Got a whole bunch of good crypto news stuff for you. We got an update on Solana after their horrible day yesterday. But first, Cardano founder wins $50,000 bet on Alonzo launching on time, which I suppose I can see why people would bet against this, considering Cardano has been around for 4 years and now just recently actually has some functionality to it in terms of contracts and tokens, etc. But Input Output Global CEO Charles Hoskinson won a $50,000 bet with Polymarket on Cardano launching smart contracts on time. The proceeds will go to a charity of Hoskinson's choice. So, he says, since Polymarket lost, they have to donate $50,000 to the charity of my choice. I thought about it, and I found a small one with a really good heart, and it's the Magic Yarn Project, homespun wigs for little cancer fighters, which I can totally get behind this one. This is just fine. Polymarket describes itself as an information markets platform that lets you trade on the world's most highly debated topics: coronavirus, politics, current events, etc. Incidentally, it runs on the Ethereum blockchain. On losing the bet with Hoskinson, Polymarket made good on the deal and graciously accepted they were wrong about smart contracts on Cardano not launching on time. So yesterday, Cardano monumentally launched smart contracts, and ADA believers won. At Polymarket, we believe in giving credit where it's due and sticking to our word. We stand corrected and donated $50K on behalf of Charles and the Cardano community. Hoskinson selected the Magic Yarn Project, but that's not all. The co-founder of Polygon, Sandeep Nailwai, again, perfect pronunciation every time on this channel, never wrong, also took the bet that Cardano would not make it this time for a $20,000 wager. He says, looks like we got another donation coming, although so far Nailwai has failed to respond. So another $20,000 coming towards Charles Hoskinson for successfully launching Alonzo. However, we did see the market sort of dumping as a whole. Everything was going down, including ADA. So Ethereum, Bitcoin, everything else was going down, and so was Cardano right when Alonzo launched. So it was a buy the rumor, sell the news type deal. However, one, I got to give it credit in the simple fact that the entire market was going down. But two, this is going to be sort of a long-term thing. When you think of DeFi and new tokens and things like that with Cardano, I think liquidity. So that means that people have to go and buy Cardano, put it into smart contracts, pools, etc., so that there can be liquidity for DeFi. Because if you want to buy this token, there needs to be some Cardano there to swap. The token needs to be there. Everything needs to be able to swap if you want to sell it, yada yada. And with all the new tokens coming out, if you want one of those tokens, you're gonna have to buy ADA and then use that to swap to one of the tokens. So there is going to be a lot of buying pressure on ADA. Now, it's a question of how much is there going to be. Is it really going to raise the price significantly, well over $3? I still stand by my bet of somewhere between $5 to $10 end of year for Cardano, just due to the fact of all the buying pressure that's going to be needed for all these contracts, DeFi, tokens, etc., as long as people are using them. And so, moving on, Bitcoin Golden Cross just took place. What does it mean, and what's next for BTC? So yet another Golden Cross has popped up on Bitcoin, and this is usually a very bullish case. This doesn't happen too often. So the most popular indicator occurs when a short-term moving average, the 50-day, surpasses a major long-term moving average, the 200-day, to the upside. Consequently, it works precisely in the opposite way of the death cross, and analysts typically regard it as a long-term bullish signal. History shows numerous examples in BTC over a decade-long existence, with some of the most brought up ones at the end of 2015 and at the start of 2019. Both cases propelled significant price appreciations for the primary cryptocurrency. Well, in 2019, mostly was a somewhat bearish market. However, in the middle of the summer in 2019, there was a very big rally. So another example occurred in May 2020 when the asset struggled below $10,000. In the following months, it skyrocketed, doubled its value, and continued towards uncharted territory. Bitcoin's price recovery from the recent slumps has caused the 50-day moving average to increase, while the longer 200-day MA has remained relatively stable. Thus, the formation of the Golden Cross happened with yesterday's close, as pointed out by several well-known BTC analysts. You can see here the Golden Cross starting to occur not that long ago. So maybe 50K Bitcoin is next, maybe 60K. It may take a little while for this to occur, but in general, throughout history of Bitcoin, the Golden Cross has led to at least short-term bullish movements. So we have that to look forward to. Moving on to some Solana news. If in case you were living under a rock yesterday, you didn't watch yesterday's video, Solana went offline completely. And by the time I made the video yesterday, Solana was offline for 6 hours. So that means there were no transactions whatsoever for 6 hours. And then actually after that video, several hours later, like 5 hours later, I actually checked SolScan. And there wasn't a transaction for 11 straight hours. So I think that was about as long as it was offline. It is back online now. So the Solana network hosts a variety of apps on a decentralized blockchain, which the company claims is the fastest in the world. So Sol's price is down, but it is sort of recovering now, just to let you guys know. The price has made a modest recovery to stand at $160. So they say the Solana validator community successfully completed a restart of mainnet beta after an upgrade to 1.6.25 dApps. Block explorers and supporting systems will recover over the next several hours. So reportedly, the outage occurred as a result of resource exhaustion, which caused denial of service across the network. The network became overwhelmed when transaction load reached 400,000 transactions per second, effectively crashing the system. So a spokesperson for Solana explained that excessive transactions flooded the transaction processing queue, and the lack of prioritization of network critical messages caused the network to start forking. This forking led to excessive memory consumption, causing some nodes to go offline. Engineers across the ecosystem attempted to stabilize the network, but were unsuccessful. News of the outage comes amid a phase of meteoric growth for Solana. Its ecosystem had ballooned to include more than 400 DeFi, NFT, and Web3 projects, making it a challenger to the Ethereum network, which hosts over 3,600 dApps. Solana claims its network is theoretically capable of processing 710,000 transactions per second. Apparently not. And boasts low average transaction costs of 0.00025 cents, a vast cut below the average cost on the Ethereum network, which I super agree with. We can agree with those numbers. However, it's capable of processing 710,000. Well, apparently not, because they were just processing 400,000 transactions per second, which is impressive. Hey, I gotta say, that's impressive. But it just totally crashed the system, and it's not good, right? So if you want to run a dApp, run it on the Ethereum network for now, just because, well, if it can all go down just all of the sudden, then it's not a particularly good network at the moment. And it says that it boasts more than 400 DeFi, NFT, Web3 projects, and the Ethereum has 3,600. So Ethereum has far more. Of course, those fees are getting a little bit outrageous these days. But I'm willing to bet that the majority of those 400 DeFi platforms that are on Solana are probably like sort of almost copy-pasted from Ethereum and then just brought over to Solana. So I suspect the majority of those 400 DeFi platforms, etc., that are on Solana are also equally on Ethereum as well. And I don't mean to FUD on Solana, but they kind of did it to themselves. I mean, the whole ecosystem literally crashed for half of a day. And if you're some kind of developer or a host or something like that, and you're looking to make money off of that and your dApps, well, you just got wrecked, at least for now, but it seems to be over. So moving on to some bad news here. NFT marketplace OpenSea confirms executive profited from insider info. So OpenSea, the leading secondary marketplace for NFT collectibles, confirmed today that one of its executives used privileged information to profit from the sale of NFTs that were featured on its front page. So yesterday we learned that one of our employees purchased items that they knew were set to display on our front page before they appeared there publicly. That's some sousy gains right there, ladies and gentlemen. The company wrote in a statement, "This is incredibly disappointing. We want to be clear that this behavior does not represent our values as a team." Although OpenSea did not name the employee, the announcement comes following accusations on Twitter that Nate Chastain, the company's head of product, used his position to purchase NFTs from lesser-known collections right before they were spotlighted on the marketplace's main landing page. Great way to make some extra cash, and I'm sure that guy is now probably fired. And I don't mean to say that it was Nate Chastain. I don't want to throw that out there. Apparently people think it's this person, but that's just it, is that they're alleging. So we'll stay away from that one for just a moment. But it says, hey, at OpenSea, why does it appear Nate Chastain has a few secret wallets that appears to buy your front page drops before they are listed, then sells them shortly after the front page hype spike for profits, and then tumbles them back to his main wallet with his punk on it? Uh-oh, not good. Moving on to some different news here. The Walmart Litecoin troll could face major criminal charges if busted. So, a couple videos back, there was the Litecoin fake news between Walmart and Litecoin that Walmart was going to be accepting Litecoin. Litecoin went up literally $100 within about a half an hour, and then back down $100 in a total span of 30 to 45 minutes tops. So the fake news earlier this week that took Litecoin to the stars and back to the ground in a matter of hours, which I agree was which I disagree, which was like half an hour basically, turn out to be more serious than it seems. Unlike what happens in the cryptoverse, the stock market is regulated to the millimeter. It's funny. Oh man, I don't know, but I wouldn't have wrote that one, author. Hey Felix, I wouldn't have wrote that one. So the stock market, sure, it's regulated, but to the millimeter. You don't think there's any corruption going on in the stock market? You don't think Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, I believe, in the United States, who bought a whole bunch of NVIDIA stock, and then a couple months later, all of a sudden, NVIDIA's got a real great deal with the government and starts super going up in price. You don't think there's any kind of regulated to the millimeter on that one? Okay, well, I digress. We'll move on. According to information from Reuters, Walmart Incorporated launched an investigation regarding a piece of fake news that spread through news release distributor Globe Newswire, claiming that the company had secured a partnership with the Litecoin Foundation to accept the cryptocurrency. In addition to Walmart Incorporated actions, Globe Newswire said in an email that it would work with the appropriate authorities to investigate the case. We will work with the appropriate authorities to request and facilitate a full investigation, including into any criminal activity associated with this matter. So basically, Globe Newswire posted fake news. They didn't even bother to call anybody. They didn't bother to call the Litecoin Foundation. They didn't bother to call nothing. And I actually heard that one of the Litecoin Foundation members was the one that actually gave them this information or something like that. And that they heard it as news. It came to them as news, and they didn't bother to check with anybody. But hey, that's fine. So it's very common in the world of crypto Twitter to see prices move to the beat rumors without further investigation, such as the nature of markets, and traders take advantage of the lack of regulation to orchestrate manipulation schemes that go from fake ads to massive coordinated pump and dumps. So Walmart, in their fake partnership, somebody's going to get wrecked, I suppose. I don't think there's going to be any kind of prison for this sort of thing. I think they're just like looking into it. But this is just really silly. I think if you post this information as soon as you see it, that Walmart and Litecoin had, like, where did it originate exactly? But why would you post it on your news website without checking anything at all, like other sources, multiple sources, or calling Walmart or calling the Litecoin Foundation? This seems like it's way too good to be true. Why Litecoin? Why all of a sudden? It just doesn't make any sense. But the markets are moving up today quite fast, actually. 48,426 Bitcoin. Ethereum at $3,524. Everything, you can see pretty much almost everything has a very high movement to it today, including even Solana up a little bit, still like trying to recover. But after that fiasco, it's having a bit of a hard time doing that. However, Cardano and Ethereum doing excellent today as well. Cardano is still not over $3, but again, I think the long term, if the usage case of Cardano is high in the DeFi and tokens, etc., that are now on the Alonzo hard fork, it should be quite a bit of buying pressure for Cardano over time, as there needs to be liquidity pools, and you need to use Cardano to essentially buy everybody's tokens that they're making on Cardano, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll see how that works over time. So far, no complaints. But that's all I have for you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. As usual, I'll see you guys next time.